Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. This morning we're going to have a show which we're going to discuss some of the things you need to understand about working cattle facilities, from holding pens to the crowding tubs to the snakes and the chutes, many different things, many different tricks to the trade. Excited about the show, excited that you're here. More after these messages.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. Thanks for joining us today. Today, you got just me. You're stuck with me and we're going to discuss cattle working facilities and some different things that I've been out on sabbatical leave this year in practice with the PAC veterinary group, and we've spent a lot of time with cattle acclimation, with facility adjustments and different things of that nature, and I thought maybe we'd just do a refresher of walking through some of those. Before we get started, I wanted to read a letter here that I got in January with this cap from Circle Dot Ranch in Mobeetie, Texas, and Earl and Carolyn Corse are the owner and operator of that ranch, and Mobeetie is out in West Texas, and I actually did my PhD at Texas Tech University, so I've been in Wheeler County and the Mobeetie area. But Earl and Carolyn, thanks for the note. Thanks for watching the show on Sunday mornings. They have a commercial Angus operation, and they have 500 mother cows and have our own heifer calves on wheat pasture. They've purchased several new bulls each year, and they're all registered. They have two excellent vets, Ben Ed and Leanne Hillhouse, and their clinic is in Wheeler, Texas. So when we always say work with your local practitioner, those are the types of things and the relationships that we want to encourage to be cultivated. Mobeetie is located in Wheeler County and is the oldest county in the Texas Panhandle. Oldest town in the Texas Panhandle. There's a lot of history there. The Red River War was fought there. If you get out there, greetings to West Texas. Thanks for watching the show, and thanks for the cap. Makes for the show, makes more personal contact. Remember, you can send your caps and stories to us, and we'll share them. But let's talk about facilities, and whether you're talking about your cow-calf operation, or if you're talking about stocker operation or talking about a feeder operation, some of the things that we have to focus on is how can we provide facilities that will allow us to have that human-animal interaction with the least amount of stress. And the first thing that we have to do is we have to interact with our animals. You can't just build a perfect facility, bring them in for the first time to have human-animal interaction and think they're going to trust you to go through that facility. So we have to get out of the pickup. We have to go out horseback. If we're going to work cattle on foot, you have to start acclimating to seeing you on foot, whether it's around your tractor, if we have fence line bunks, things to that nature that help cattle understand and gain trust in you. We can talk about clinical signs, we can talk about facilities, but until you spend time with your animals, acclimating them to the human-animal interaction and helping those animals understand what it is you want them to do, they won't be able to show you clinical signs of illness or go through the facilities properly because they haven't trusted you, or they don't trust you, or you haven't gained their trust. But the first thing I want to bring into talk is our holding pens. And when we have holding pens, sometimes we just use a long alley that's narrow as a holding pen, and I don't like those as much, or we use slants that are the same width as the alley. We want to make sure that they're twice as wide as the alley we're going to work in, so that the cattle in the back don't get crushed when we walk into the pen to bring the first draft to the tub. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about going from that holding pen to the lead-up alley to the chute.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply. Healthy cows start with the new hired hand automatic livestock sprayer. Rancher invented to provide an efficient alternative to pour-on and injectable parasite management systems. The portable design allows cattle to treat themselves head to hoof. Strategic device placement with pass-through activation technology takes the stress out of parasite treatment for cattle and the rancher, leaving more time to tend to other vital tasks on the farm. To learn more, visit cowsprayer.com. The new hired hand makes healthy cows easy.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
This segment brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook. Visit us online at sftmeats.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thomson here, and we're at Kansas State University where I serve as the Jones Professor of Production Medicine. And this year I've taken a sabbatical leave from K-State and gone back into practice with my partners and colleagues from the PAC organization, Production Animal Consultation, where we cover feedlot cattle and stocker cattle and cow-calf in all areas of the United States, but we're primarily focused in Nebraska, Kansas, and eastern Colorado. And some of the things that we've learned on facilities this year, in our holding facilities, as I mentioned before, having a holding pen that's too narrow winds up crushing cattle in the back when we go to get drafts to come up the lead-up alley to go to the tub. So sometimes if I have holding pins that are slants that are the same width, and we like to use those herringbone slants as you see here in this picture, or straight slants, what I'll go in is I'll knock out every other fence, and I'll just make them twice as wide as what the lead-up alley is. So when I go into that pen, those cattle have an opportunity to come around me rather than just going to the back of the alley and crushing those cattle. Vitally important, I think, especially if you don't have cows and calves sorted. We need to make sure that we sort those calves, because the little baby calves, same thing with hospital cattle. We need to put larger cattle in one pen and the smaller cattle in the other, otherwise we'll wind up with the smaller cattle getting crushed. Lead-up alleys, there's a lot of talk about lead-up alleys. The big thing about a lead-up alley to me is making sure that the lead-up alley is consistent in width. When we start to have issues is if we have indentions in the lead-up alley, where cattle move a lot like water. And if we have an indention, like seen in this picture, you'll have cattle that'll wind up being in an eddy, and they'll ball up there and they'll kind of stay put. So we want to have a lead-up alley that is the same width all the way to our crowding tub. And when we get to the crowding tub, we want to make sure that the entrance to the bud box or to the crowding tub is the same width as the alley that's coming to it. Again, just like water, if we have a narrowing effect, those cattle will start to bunch, they will slow up, and they'll turn around and come back. So the rule of thumb, whether you're using a tub system as seen in this picture or a bud box system as seen in this picture, we want to make sure that that lead-up alley is the same width coming into the tub. So now we get to the crowding facility, and when I think about the crowding facility, you know, a lot of times we think that what we're going to do is we're going to put as many cattle in this as we can and then swing the tub gate. And I had a colleague of mine tell me one time, he says, you know, Dr. Dan, a tub is not like a tube of toothpaste. We don't just fill it up and then try to squeeze the cattle into the snake. So the first rule of thumb on a tub is we want it to never be more than half full. As seen in this picture, you can see here's a picture of where the cattle are too crowded, and then here's a picture of where we have the tub half full. The calves are able to line up, line out, and go into the snake facility. We want to be able to make sure that cattle can see the snake or the area in which we want them to go. The tub system, one of the big things is the angle in which the cattle enter. We want to make sure that we have an angle such as seen in this picture, where when the cattle go around the center post of the tub, that they seem to think that they're going back the direction in which they came. At that point in time, human safety is much more improved, and the cattle will flow much better. When we come back, we'll wrap up the tub, talk a little bit about the bud box, then we'll get on to the snake and the chute.
My name is Bill Meredith, and I farm about 7,000 acres. We raise about 150 head of longhorn cattle. It was real frustrating for me to not be able to have my hands on it. When I'd come down in the morning, almost cry because my back was hurting so bad and my memory was so bad, and had been to Mayo's clinic feeling like it was nothing was happening as fast as I'd like to see it happen. My land guy come and pulled up beside me and he asked me how I was doing. I told him I wasn't doing worth a darn. He was telling me about this treatment they were doing down there in Manhattan. Anyway, we come up here and got this treatment, put some in my shoulders because I couldn't bend my head like this. I finally started getting my memory back, and I'm able to do about everything I was doing before, maybe more. I went outside and raised my hand and praised the Lord, you know.
Did you know long-range planning through the checkoff can help keep your business profitable? To successfully pass on cattle operations from one generation to the next, it's important to promote beef and keep farms and ranches profitable. Your beef checkoff helps do that.
We are Mike and
Martha
Armitage here at the A-Bar Ranch, Claremore, Oklahoma. We have a cow-calf production company, and we also have a marketing company. We have entertained groups brought to us by the Beef Checkoff, such as South Korean media that covered our operation and brought the good news back to South Korea.
That was a really neat experience, and that we got to have young people from another country that we got to experience a lot of different things in their culture, but got to share our culture too.
We live on the Squaw Creek Ranch. Here is a division of the A-Bar Ranch.
As a wife and a mother, and also with my background in more of a health field, I look at just the nutritional value, and it's great that the Beef Checkoff offers that kind of information to the consumers that are out there.
We both are proud to come from agricultural, more specifically ranching backgrounds.
My dad is a part of the Beef Checkoff board, and so the Beef Checkoff has been something that we promote and that we support what it has to offer.
Not everybody who's in agriculture is tech savvy on Facebook and through social media. Most people in the city happen to be, and they are very disconnected from our day-to-day routines, and that's one thing that makes me proud of the Beef Checkoff, them going to bat for us, from those who aren't necessarily anti-ag, but just simply don't know and they aren't getting the information.
As producers, we're strong supporters of that and hope that many of you out there realize all of the different things that the Beef Checkoff brings to the table for us as producers.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well in their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but yet we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we'll be glad to answer it and work with you.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. We're talking about crowding systems. So getting the calves to the snake from the lead-up alley. That's really what the function of the tub or the bud box is. And so when I want to do, the first thing I do is I get in and I walk the facility myself from start to finish, lead-up alley to outside the chute. And as you can see in this video that I did with a tub, that I'm going to come up and I can see what the cattle are going to see. I come up, I'm going into that, I'm going into the tub, and as I go around the corner, I immediately see two things. One, I feel like I'm going back the direction in which I came, and two, I'm going straight into the snake. I can see where it is that you want me to go. Sometimes when we have someone standing on the wrong side, the cattle get up against the curved area of the tub, and as they come around that area, all they see is a flat steel wall, and they keep circling. So making sure they get around the flat side of that tub is vitally important so they see exactly where the snake is. You can see as I go through this snake, these no-backs can be a distraction to cattle. And you can see that the gradual bend of the snake, when we build a curved snake, when people ask me, well, how tight should the curve be? Cattle should be able to see 2 or 3 body lengths ahead of them in the snake, as you can see in this snake. Now, as we make the turn, we can see the light from the chute, which cattle would rather go from dark to light than light to dark. So utilizing light to attract the cattle to come to the chute is important. As we walk up through the chute, you can see the louvers on the side that hide the person running the chute. And then as we exit the chute, you can see the mats that are there to prevent cattle from slipping. So just some general rules of thumb, great facility design, and things you need to think about. Now, when we use the bud box, as we've said on other shows, the bud box system is one that we're going to have open sides. And a bud box is 20 foot long by 12 foot wide. We have 12-foot alleys. The first rule of thumb about the bud box is you never bring more cattle than can fit in your snake at once. So if you can only hold 3 cattle in the snake, only bring 3 to the bud box. If you can only hold 10, only bring 10. We're going to bring the cattle up to the bud box, as you can see in this video, and I have a video to let you see what cattle see when they are in the bud box. So here we come up into the bud box. We go to the end of the bud box, and I'm looking out in the open sides. The bud box is closed. You can see where the person is parked as I look there, not where I want to go. So I turn my head as a calf and I start to go back the other direction. And as I do that, I'm coming back the direction in which I came. And instead of a center post in a tub, I'm going around that person or the person on the horse. And as you can see, they come to that solid-sided gate. The only solid-sided gate that you have in a bud box is the one right here, where the cattle are going to go up against, just like the sidewall in the tub, and they see exactly where it is you want to go, right up to that Daniels double alley. It's a great system. Love the double alley. The cattle seem to go in it extremely well. And one of the things about the double alley, though, is it allows you to hold more cattle. So it's fewer trips and fewer drafts back to bringing them up. When we come back, we're going to wrap up talking about the snake system on a bud box or a Daniels double alley and the chute. You're watching DocTalk. Thanks for joining.
We do business with Blueville because of the quality of their work. It is excellent quality, and because they make a commitment to their customers.
We enjoy the benefits of hiring a good company to help us maintain this home.
We will always do business with Blueville. We have for many, many years, and there's no reason for us to look for any other service.
Hi, I'm Randy.
And I'm Paul from PFI.
We would like to personally invite you to stop by PFI, home of Boot Daddies.
PFI is America's Western store, covering over 50,000 square feet.
Over 25,000 boots.
Visit Saddle City with the largest selection of saddles and tack anywhere.
A huge selection of hats at Big Spur Hat Company in PFI Town.
And choose from the best brands of clothing and accessories for the entire family.
PFI, located on Highway 65 at the Battlefield exit in Springfield. And I'm not kidding.
Thanks for joining me today for Behringer Ingelheim's Cattle First. When we start to think about labels that are on bottles of antibiotics, it's extremely important that we follow them. The first thing that's on the label, what species is this indicated for? So it might be for cattle, for horses, for dogs, or cats. Once we understand the species that these products are labeled for, what's the indication? Bovine respiratory disease. Could it be for foot rot? There's a list of species, indications. After that, what's the dosage, what's the route of administration, and then what's the withdrawal time, or the time in which it's safe to take an animal to slaughter from the time in which the animal was last treated until that animal was slaughtered. So, species, indication, dosage, route of administration, withdrawal. All of these are important components on the label, so make sure that you follow them and use antibiotics judiciously. Boehringer Ingelheim's Cattle First.
As fourth-generation farmers themselves, Heinen Brothers Ag Service understands the risk and rewards of farming. So when it comes to quality aerial and ground application, fertilizer, ag chemicals, and anhydrous ammonia, call Heinen Brothers Ag today, 800-760-4964.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help? How can we help?
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook or Twitter.
Hey there, welcome back to DocTalk. We've moved the cattle from the holding pens to the lead-up alleys into the snake. Now on the snake, there's two things that you need to know. One, if you're going to have adjustable sides on the snake, like a lot of these new snakes have with hydraulics, that you can raise and lower the no backs or raise and adjust or widen or narrow the sides, then you don't have to worry about things such as being able to fit calves through it versus fitting yearlings and things of that nature. If you don't have that option, you're going to build a solid-sided snake. What we do is we go to 16 inches at the bottom and we go up to 5 foot with 32 inches at the top. And that'll be enough to allow you to work calves where they won't turn around, or where you can work larger cattle, because as they get taller, we widen out at the top so that those cattle don't get stuck. So that's something that's important. Now, we'll hear people talk about solid sides versus open sides. If you're going to use a solid-sided snake, then you have to put a catwalk on the side so that you can get up above and see the cattle and provide the cattle direction to move forward. If you aren't going to build that catwalk and you want to put it on the ground, you can use open-sided snakes, and as you can see in this Daniel's alley, that we have a straight snake with open sides where the cattle are at the same level as me walking on the ground. Now, to get cattle to move forward, we don't start at the back of them with a hot shot or hollering or screaming. All you want to do is come to the front of the calf, get the calf's attention, and as soon as I walk past the eye, which is the point of contact or the point of focus to where that calf will move forward, if you want cattle to move forward, do like this. Get in front, get their attention. As I walk past that eye, the cattle advance forward. As I walk past the eye of the next calf, it advances forward. I don't have to say a word. It's just giving those cattle direction in which they want and they crave, and it's very easy to do. If you're standing behind them, hollering and screaming, not going to work. They don't know what you're going to, they can't see or see you or see what you want them to do. Same concept if you're using a solid-sided. You just get up on the catwalk, get their attention, walk by them against the grain, they'll squirt forward. Running the chute, we want to make sure that we catch cattle with the sides. As cattle come in, it's been described that a calf ricocheting off the front of a head gate is equivalent to us being in a car accident at 35 miles an hour. So decreasing the amount of pressure of cattle just bouncing off the front of the head gate, if we can catch them with the sides, that's a great advantage, and then catch them by the head. When we have cattle come into the chute, obviously putting louvers like you can see in this video help us hide the person running the chute. Sometimes it can be a little bit tricky getting used to catching the cattle because you can't see them as well either, but something that'll help you. When cattle leave, we want to make sure we have good footing, good rubber mats, things to that nature. Hopefully those will help you with some facilities. If you have questions, always ask. You can send us an email and find us on the website at www.doctalktv.com. Shoot me an email. Here's my email address at K-State, in which you can shoot me an email on facilities design. Remember to always work with your local veterinarian, and we appreciate you watching the show. Thanks for watching DocTalk today. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson, and I'll see you down the road.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.